In a world where you can get anything you want at a moment's notice, and you can turn on the television and find something that you want to watch and not have to wait, we deal with the struggle of kids who are not used to delaying their own gratification. And it's a skill. It's something that we actually have to work on teaching our kids. And just like anything that we want to teach our children, we need to actually devote time with them and actively work to teach them the skill that they're missing. So in working on impulse control and waiting, I actually needed to set up time to sit down with my son and actually do this, because we're not going to achieve success in teaching our kids new behaviors without targeted time devoted to actually teaching. So we spent over the weekend, my husband took my daughter out on a date so that they could have time together while I had time with my son to work on actually teaching delayed gratification. So we're going to go through how exactly do you sit down and teach your child how to wait? How do you work on their impulse control, not immediately reaching out and grabbing things that they want? And it does take time, and it takes some targeted teaching approaches. So what you want to do is you want to find something that's highly desirable for your child. And we can do this, what we call a preference assessment, where you can actually lay out a number of different things for your child and allow them to make a selection of what they're really into in that moment. This high motivation for an item is going to be what you get to use in order to teach them to delay their own gratification by reaching out and grabbing that item. And you start by asking them to wait for just a couple of seconds. I'm going to show video of us working through this process with my son, but the first time that I ask him to wait, I actually only make him wait for 10 seconds before allowing him to reach out and grab the item. I need you to wait. Good waiting. You may have it. You may take it. Go ahead. Good waiting. Every single time that I do it, and I do it back to back, so he gets used to this concept of, oh, mom says wait, I need to hold my hands back and wait before grabbing. We used jelly beans that were left over from Easter, and I simply cut them in half so that he wasn't getting too much sugar and that he continued to stay motivated for the item as I was working on teaching him every single time. So the first time I did it, we set it out and I said wait, and he had to wait for 10 seconds. The next time I doubled it to 20 seconds. Wait. Good job. You may have it. Good. I then doubled it to 40 seconds. And at a certain point, I started using my watch and just timing it for a couple of minutes.
I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it.
Wait. And you'll see as the time progresses, he actually sort of starts to entertain himself as a way of distracting him from thinking about the jelly bean. Yeah, you found the scooter.
I stayed down. I said, run foot.
Sometimes he'll get up and walk away. Sometimes he's riding the scooter. Sometimes we're talking about other things. And what was really interesting was that we did this work, in 15 minutes on a Saturday morning.
I did it. I did it, Mommy. It's me now. I did it. I'm gonna ride the scooter. I'm gonna ride the scooter.
You're riding the scooter? Good.
Right offended.
What?
I'm gonna eat and wait.
Okay, go ahead. You can have it. Good job, Baba.
I'm gonna eat it.
And later that afternoon, there was actually something else out on the counter, not jelly beans, it was like a toy. And he reached for it and I said, wait. And you could see that he was like, wait, this isn't, we were doing it with jelly beans. Like, this is a completely different thing. And so it also goes to show that just when you've done some initial teaching with a given item, that it doesn't necessarily mean that your kid's going to get it with all other things. You actually have to do some targeted teaching across a variety of things before they start to understand and truly get the concept. And so that's what we're working on with my son, is that impulse control, that not immediately reaching out and grabbing, and that when I say wait, you can actually pull back and sit and wait for something, which is something that I think most of our kids are struggling with right now. So set up an opportunity for you to actually spend time one-on-one with your child that you need to do the work with, and do 10 or 15 opportunities to practice in a short period of time, and you're going to be amazed at how quickly you're going to start to see progress, rather than incidentally trying to work on this throughout the day when you're distracted, when there's other kids around, while it's chaos in your house. That's going to be a much longer process and a much more difficult process for your child to actually learn the skill, as opposed to sitting down and spending time working on it in a targeted way. Wait. Hey, high five! And good waiting, you may have your jelly bean.